What does it really mean for an AI to think? Today, we're diving deep into Interview.net Senior Engineer Scenarios. The .NET ecosystem now underpins cloud-native, event-driven, high-throughput systems. Senior engineers must demonstrate systems thinking, diagnosing memory leaks, optimizing async pipelines, designing for fault tolerance. Conventional interviews fail to capture these abilities. Interview.net Senior Engineer Scenarios is a framework that replaces trivia with real-world technical challenges, directly revealing architectural judgment and runtime mastery. This shifts hiring from guesswork to evidence-based evaluation. As .NET powers critical services, mishire costs escalate. Scenarios align assessment with actual senior work. But here's where it gets interesting: the assessment gap. Standard technical interviews rely on algorithm puzzles and framework trivia. They do not evaluate distributed transaction design, GC latency tuning, middleware pipeline optimization, or async await pitfalls. Senior .NET engineers spend most of their time on exactly these challenges. The outcome: hires who excel at coding tests but cannot stabilize a production incident. With .NET's rapid shift to native AOT, minimal APIs, and open telemetry, the gap widens, demanding a better approach. So what's the real problem? Let's talk about root cause: interview work disconnect. Interviews mirror academic exams, not engineering reality. A senior .NET engineer diagnoses thread pool starvation, selects caching strategies, migrates monoliths to services. These require deep understanding of the runtime, concurrency, and infrastructure. Current methods ignore these dimensions, reducing seniority assessment to memorized facts. The disconnect creates false confidence and costly mishires. Scenarios restore the missing context, requiring candidates to navigate ambiguity as they would on the job. This raises a critical question: the breakthrough, Scenario-based evaluation. Shift from questioning to simulating. Candidates encounter a real-world .NET challenge, such as high latency in an ASP.NET Core microservice, and must investigate, propose architectural changes, and defend trade-offs. This surfaces systems thinking, communication, and deep .NET internals expertise. It transforms the interview into a collaborative engineering session, providing direct evidence of senior capability. The method is language fidelity. Scenarios use actual .NET Stack components and produce measurable signals. Now let's zoom in on the Scenario matrix for framework. A multi-dimensional rubric structures evaluation, architecture, service decomposition, communication, performance, GC, async profiling, serialization, reliability, resiliency patterns, fault isolation, security, auth, threat modeling, code quality, maintainability, testability, observability, logging, tracing, metrics. Scenarios target cross-cutting concerns. Interviewers score on each dimension with calibrated anchors. The matrix evolves with .NET releases, ensuring coverage of modern practices like minimal APIs, native AOT, and open telemetry. Here's something most people overlook: Center Type Library. 5 core types: production debugging, system design, migration strategy, performance tuning, security hardening. Each scenario is engineered from real .NET stacks: ASP.NET Core, EF Core, gRPC, Docker, Azure Service Bus. They present precise failure signals: CPU saturation, memory pressure, serialization bottlenecks. Candidates diagnose root cause, propose remediation, and explain trade-offs. Scenarios are version-controlled, tagged to dimensions, and designed to expose seniority through applied reasoning. Think about this for a second. Interview workflow. Step 1, present a scenario with metrics, log, and context. Step 2, candidate clarifies constraints. Step 3, whiteboard architecture and data flow. Step 4, deep dive into .NET specific GC modes, async patterns, middleware order, serialization cost. Step 5. Candidate synthesizes root cause and remediation plan. Interviewers map responses to the scenario matrix, producing a structured score. This mirrors real incident response and collaborative design. And this is where things get complex. Sinner in action, latency surge. An e-commerce API experiences P99 latency spikes under load. Candidate analyzes thread pool exhaustion, sync over async, inefficient lie-in queue or serialization. They propose adopt system.dax source generators, implement bulkhead isolation via poly, add output caching. The discussion reveals depth in async internals, profiling tools, and resiliency patterns. This single scenario exposes capability across architecture, performance, and reliability dimensions, offering a high signal assessment. But here's where it gets interesting. Comparison. Old vs. new. Trivia and puzzles measure recall. Scenario-based evaluation measures applied reasoning. Instead of, what is the difference between transient and scope, the candidate faces a concurrent request's bug caused by a captured scoped commutations in a singleton. They must trace the lifetime, identify the issue, and propose a fix using NAR Scope Factory. This approach reveals true .NET mastery mental models of DI, GC, and thread safety, not documentation memory. So what's the real problem? Let's talk about impact on hiring outcomes. Companies adopting scenario-based .NET interviews report fewer mishires and faster ramp-up. Senior hires demonstrate immediate autonomy, owning subsystems, leading incident response, mentoring. The process improves diversity by reducing trivia bias and focusing on demonstrated skill. Engineering velocity increases as new team members bring real-world problem-solving from day one. The business case is clear: reduce cost per hire, higher retention, and a stronger engineering culture. This raises a critical question. Future Senani Ecos ISTEAM, an open community-driven repository of .NET scenarios versioned against .NET releases, e.g. .NET 9 minimal APIs, native AOT optimizations, AI-assisted evaluation will offer consistent initial scoring. Standardized rubrics enable fair async interviews globally. The goal is a living framework that keeps pace with the .NET platform. Scenarios become a shared language for seniority, raising the industry bar for technical hiring. Now let's zoom in on adopt the new standard. Shift your senior .NET hiring from quiz to simulation. Build or adopt scenario libraries. Train interviewers on the scenario matrix. Use evidence, not intuition. Interview.net. Senior Engineer Scenarios provides the blueprint. Elevate your engineering bar. Start today. Your next great senior hire is waiting to be assessed on what they'll actually do. The result: a team that thrives under complexity and delivers resilient systems.